Abrams v. U.S. Okay, so this is probably the first case you'll read in any class about the First Amendment. Um, the Bill of Rights was a thing that we wrote and then basically shoved in a file cabinet in the basement for like, I don't know, 100 years or so, until 1919 when the Supreme Court cracked open that file case and went, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't put people in jail because of their thoughts. But in this case, we're still going to put the defendant in jail. So what happened was the defendant was convicted for basically violating the Espionage Act. It's probably some crazy act that has to do with espionage. Regardless, he was handing out flyers, basically supporting the Russian Revolution somewhere, something like that. Why the U.S. in 1919 cared about supporters of the Russian Revolution? Yeah, we could imagine. We had, child workers at that time, so the U.S. was a pretty fucked up place. Anyway, what matters is not the majority opinion. What matters is Oliver Wendell Holmes' dissent, which is really the starting place for why we have robust protection for our First Amendment freedom of speech. Uh, he basically says truth only comes out in a competitive market of free ideas. So this creates the marketplace of ideas metaphor. Now, something you'll learn from the law is that when someone is using a metaphor, especially a judge, it's because they don't really know what the fuck they're trying to explain, and it leads to a lot of problems. But marketplace of the ideas boils down to, listen, the cream of the crop will rise to the top. So we want to let everyone's shitty ideas come out into this marketplace and duke it out, and we'll get the truth. If my law professor comes up and says, "Hey, the First Amendment protects our freedom of speech," and I say, "No, you know what? I think it's the mushroom people on Mars who beam in my thoughts that dictate freedom of speech." You got to let that in and let the best ideas duke it out, and everyone else can decide for themselves. So, counter arguments against Holmes's marketplace theory. First one is that it's kind of a privilege theory. Yeah, sure, it's real nice to think that the marketplace will weed out everyone's ideas and everyone can put in their ideas, but that's just not the case. Obviously, more rich, powerful white men, historically, especially 1919, are going to control the market, so to speak. This is especially true today in that mass media is controlled by like a handful of major corporations. So if my theory or my idea doesn't appeal to Fox News viewers, or doesn't appeal to CNN viewers, or doesn't appear to Disney Channel's viewers, and if no one wants to buy into the mushroom people soap opera, then I'm not going to get in there. The second counter argument to the marketplace is basically that people don't process info rationally, so the truth won't exactly come up. Part of the problem is that like the speed of information anymore is so fast that how can you sift through all the bullshit and decide what's the smartest thing? Another problem with this is that the competition of the market is so strong that maybe truth doesn't rise to the top, just the opinion of the fiercest competitor. Like, say, my professor's saying that the First Amendment protects our freedom of speech. Well, if I'm Donald Trump and I propose this shitty mushroom idea across all news channels and proclaim that my professor's First Amendment idea is bullshit, fake news, then guess what? I might just fucking win. And guess what? Marketplace of Ideas Holmes, that didn't work. Next point. You and I, and everyone, I would imagine, don't consume the entire marketplace. We might have in this marketplace the CNN stalls, the Wall Street Journal stalls. We might have the mushroom people beaming in my thoughts.net. And maybe I'm someone who only listens to freedomnews.mushroompeople.net for all of my news, and you only listen to Fox News. We may assert our truth, but never actually cross paths with the truth. So, who's to say the truth is going to rise up there?